Yes, yes, yes. It is the Cast Worthy podcast, and we are back. I'm Big Steve, aka Last of a Dying Breed, on the Twitter machine or the X machine. Joined today by EJ, the Sophisticated Savage. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Hey man, happy birthday to you and me. It's our birthday month, True Sag month. Yeah,
Sad season. You know what it is.
big Sag season. Wow, season, big Sag season. That's a tongue twister.
Or
It's a tongue twister.
yours, yours was a little more recent than mine. What'd you do?
Uh, I mean, it was a Thursday. My mother wanted to go out to eat, so we went to one of the local black restaurants that I support and do a lot of business with. And shout out to Hillsmere Restaurant and Bar, otherwise dubbed as the Hill. They haven't adopted that name yet, but I call it that. And I got a pretty good business relationship with them. We do our philanthropic work there, toy drives and stuff like that. So we went to pay for it, and I got a bill that just said happy birthday. So shout out to them. And then I got my mother home, and then I don't remember what I did after that because I just went out drinking. So that was fun.
Lots of binge drinking. Liver not feeling so great.
No, you know what? I mean, I did a lot that day, and I think that was probably the last day I went that hard. I've been kind of cutting back lately, man. Just trying to do a little better. Trying to do a little better. I mean, I went to an open bar function last night, and I didn't do too much. Although they didn't have my bourbon there initially, but I was able to work something out. Get something in there. So that was cool. But I had a good time for
I went on a
scholarship.
I went on a cruise, man. It was there was we got a bunch of birthdays. It's my birthday, it's Ash's birthday, it's Nikki's birthday. So December is eventful. So we went on Carnival or no bullshit. What kind of poor person do I look like? We went on Royal Caribbean. We went on Royal Caribbean, Allure of the Seas, and let me tell you, last time I cruised was probably 6, 8 years ago, a long time ago, before the kid was born. And boats were so much smaller. Like they used to be like when you walked in, you felt like you was in a building, on the water. Now you feel like you're in a whole city. Like you walk in, it looks like a mall. Watch stores, boutiques, Starbucks like on the first floor before you even venture off. You walk into all of that. It's crazy.
Mm.
So, a little bit of everything going on. Me, I try to gamble a little bit. So first night was interesting. Was interesting, right? So I go in the casino. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go play some Ultimate Hold'em, see if I can make a couple dollars or whatever. Sit down at the table, give him like 200, 250. It was 240 was the actual number. Give him 240 to cash in, right? And I guess they swiped it with the markers, right? And dealer goes, hey, oh, calls over the pit boss or whatever. I'm like, fuck, she calling a pit boss for $200? That ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
He comes over. He's like, hey, I'm gonna hold on to this one. It's fake. And I'm like, what? He holds up one of the $100 bills I gave him. I'm like, oh shit. All right, well, whatever. He's like, yeah, this is fake. I'm like, okay, I heard you the first time. Give me my other money. You know what I'm saying? Give me my chips, right? Um, so they give me the chips for the other 140 or whatever. I play a couple hands. I step away from the table, um, do a couple slots or whatever, then come back to the table to play again. And another dude walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, can I talk to you? Can you grab your chips?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Come with me." All right, whatever. Walk with him. Go to this room. Right, it's him, three other motherfuckers. They got me in there like locked up abroad, yo. Like the first 48.
Yeah.
Right? He goes, "Oh, I'm the head of security. This is the director of the casino. This is the assistant manager of the casino. This is the manager of customer service or some shit like that." And I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" It was good. He's like, is this yours? I'm like, yo, are you serious right now? Like, now mind you, I had a couple drinks and shit. So I'm like, yo, are you serious? I said, are you serious? I say, yo, where are you from? He said, hold on 1 second. So then he says, I'm gonna turn on this body camera. I said, all right. So
Yo,
yeah, so he goes, is this yours? I'm like, I guess, your pit boss says that he got it from me, so yeah. He
right,
says, he says, where did you get it from? I was like, I don't know. The bank, maybe? The gas station? I can't tell you where I got it from,
right,
right? So he says, so I said, where are you from, yo? He said, I'm from India. I said, well, I'm from Florida, the United States. I said,
oh, nigga.
I'm not trying to pass no fake bills if that's what you're thinking is happening here. And I said, if I was, I wouldn't do it in a casino. Like that just makes no sense. Whatever. So he's like, all right, well, I have to, record and get the statement and whatever. I'm like, okay. So he's like, do you see that it says motion picture use only? I said, even more of a reason why I wouldn't be trying to pass it. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like if I'm gonna
right.
pass something fake, it's gonna say fake. It's gonna look fake. It ain't gonna say motion picture. So I'm like, I don't know where it came from. Like it might have been, my 5-year-old might have brought it home, from school or some shit or whatever, and it got mixed up in our cash. Like he's like, well, I need you to write your statement here. I'm like, all right. So I write the statement. You know me, I went all in. They have me in an interrogation room, four people, right? Um, so I'm writing and I'm like, they're asking this, blah blah blah, and I'm like, here, boom. He's like, well, I have to sign it now. Okay, so he starts reading it and he can't read it clearly, right? So I start reading it back. I'm like, that says interrogation, interrogation. He's like, oh, we're not here to interrogate. I said, listen, man, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I gave you a bill. You're telling me it's fake. I get it. It's fake. My bad. You talking to me like I'm some type of criminal. Let me tell you what I do for a living. So I told him what I do for a living, whatever, and whatever. So he signs the paper, whatever. He's like, okay. I said, so what was the point of this? He's like, well, it's just an incident that was reported, so we have to make an incident report. I said, okay. I appreciate you making the incident report. Um, well, I'm gonna go back to the casino and play some more, man. And he's like, okay, no problem, right? So that's how that ended, right? But that was the first night. Like I'm 4 hours into the cruise, maybe a little more.
Nigga
Like
just
maybe
stepped on, set the
I just
bags down.
that's it. Set the bags down, went upstairs, ate, chilled. You know what I'm saying? Kid, wife went to bed, and I'm like, all right, I'm going downstairs. Go make a couple dollars. Mess my whole night up. Mess the whole night up. But but
Jesus.
but then so now I kind of remember where it came from. Somebody had brought some of that motion picture money to work, and we was like, just
What the
trolling
fuck
people.
is motion picture money?
I guess it's the fake money that the rappers be using, and they be using in the
Oh,
movies and shit. Yeah.
oh,
So I mean, it looks
oh,
exactly like
wow.
it looks just like real money, $100 bills or whatever, except at the top it says motion picture money. And I forgot about this until he told me what it said up there. And I remember he had given it to me, or no, I had it at work. Somebody gave it to me. It was like they punked me with it. So I'm like, you got me. So I went and took it, and I was just fucking around with people, leaving it on their desk and shit, whatever. And then and I brought it home. So I'm thinking what I might have done is I probably cleaned out my pockets. And usually when I clean my pockets out on the counter or whatever, when the counter gets cleaned up, any cash there gets put into the envelope, in case we need cash later on or whatever, or if we gotta
Mm.
get money, whatever. So when we were leaving, I just grabbed all the cash out of the envelope that was in the drawer and was like, all right, we'll have cash for the cruise. And so it must have been up in there mixed in with all the cash. And just so happened that that was one of the ones that I gave him. So
Yo, that's wild. That is hilarious, yo.
it
That
was,
is
because when they brought me in the room at first, I'm like, yo, these niggas gonna arrest me for this shit? Like, this
nigga,
is
took you back to your youth. Like, nigga, it's been a while, but okay, I'll play.
right. If this is the game y'all want to play, like,
Like, yo, my man said, where you from, B? because your
I,
interrogation skills are trash.
it was bad, yo. This little Indian dude, he's looking at me. I'm like, listen, I said, where you from, yo? Like, do you understand? Like, where I come from, if I'm scheming you, it ain't for $100. Like, and then when he was like, he on the camera, he goes, I got this 100 rupee, $100. I'm like, all right, man, get out my face, yo. Like,
Yeah,
what are you
are we are
talking
we
about?
are we done here?
Mm.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, yeah. So that was the first night, but after that, smooth sailing from there, no pun intended. Got out to the Bahamas, and then I'm thinking in my head, like the whole time, like, damn, y'all, I wish they didn't take it because I could have probably passed this in the straw market in the Bahamas. Got me a fake fluey for somebody, brought it back to the States or something. But
Foul.
but yeah, nah. So went out to Bahamas, came back. But I tell you, the cruise ships have come a long way. Like they got wild ass shit on there now. They got water slides. I know they used to have them before, but now they got water slides that go around the full cruise. Big fucking like theater screens and shit on the top for movie night. It's come a long way. Like
And it
we was on the boat for 4 days and we didn't see the whole boat. That's how big that shit is. Pause.
and there was a group of AKs on the boat.
Oh yeah, it was they had shirts on the first day. That's how I knew they were AKAs and I hit you up. It was
Mm.
AKA AKA retreat or some shit like that. And it was like they was deep. They was deep. And one of them was talking shit. He was an Eagles fan. I had my Cowboys hat on and shit. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna see you on Sunday night." I said, "You better hope you don't, because I'm
So
talking
wait a
mad some
minute, they were
shit."
females or they were dudes?
They was with a group of dudes and females.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
was a bunch of females and like 4 or 5 dudes sprinkled in. You know, they look like some pretty boy kappas and shit. They had on,
A bunch of marks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically,
That's
360
hilarious.
waves spinning and all of that. But yeah, man. So it was pretty dope, man. Now they got Wi-Fi on the boats. Last time I was there, you had to use their computers if you needed internet. They got Wi-Fi throughout the boat, so no matter where you go, I paid for it. Wherever you go, you can be connected on the phone or whatever. They use Starlink. Shout out to Elon. Um, and it's it works. It worked out. Connection was pretty damn good. Um, what else? Food is excellent. Food is excellent. We had a balcony. It's the first time I spent up and got a balcony. It was pretty dope. Kind of stepping out there and
Just
just
be
being
on
outside.
watch the water, and Ashton went with y'all now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ash was with
So he
us.
was able to check the seas out, and that's pretty dope, man. He did, hey, have
Yeah,
breakfast on the
man.
water, basically.
Yeah, yeah. First little experience. We were supposed to be in Vegas this weekend, but because we did so much with the cruise and there was a lot going on and the storm was coming, we just kind of decided otherwise.
Hunker
So
down.
yeah, not really hunger down, but it was just like let's push the Vegas trip back because we just did a bunch and plus it was gonna be no, it was a childcare type thing, so we would have needed my mother-in-law. She don't really drive in the rain and shit. We didn't want to leave her here having to worry about that. So, but Vegas in maybe February, March, man. We got to make it happen because Wu Tang has residency out there. It was just announced this week.
And I've never been to Vegas.
Oh, all right.
I,
Maybe you shouldn't go to Vegas.
I mean, I never, when I had a birthday, I had planned a trip to myself. It was a little bit after the divorce or something,
Mm,
and I had the flight, I had the room, I had everything comped for me, and I didn't go. I just didn't feel like going. Like it do anything for me. Still to this day, I don't feel excited to go. However, for the record, your mother and my mother apparently are planning a
I'm
trip out
planning a
there.
trip to Vegas.
I don't get
Yeah,
it.
I just
I,
didn't, don't. I don't think they understand that the Vegas that they might think of from years ago is a different Vegas. But they straight. There's shows and shit. They'll be fine. Especially with Uber and everything nowadays. They like to walk anyway, so they'll get to the strip and they'll probably stay on the strip, walk up and down.
Only difference is, I mean, they're in their 70s, so you know,
Yeah, well, my mom will be 70 this year, so. But yeah, man. I mean, whatever. Let them go. They
not
retired.
gonna
They
listen.
living.
They're not gonna listen anyway. So
Right? Let them live. But
right,
So three residencies were announced this week that I think we would all appreciate, you and I and VP had he been here. Wu Tang has a residency that starts in February, the week of Super Bowl, and then that will continue through the year. Jodeci is starting a residency out there in Vegas next year in 2024, and New Edition is also starting a residency out there in 2024. So,
That's lit.
um, add to that, you got F1 out there, and you
Usher.
know, uh, the Raiders. I think Usher's there for the Super Bowl. I don't know if he's going to restart his tour in 2024 or his residency,
Mm,
but
mm.
but definitely going to be a lot going on. And yeah, Liz, you're right. They're going out there to gamble. As long as they don't gamble the house away, we'll be just fine. We'll
I
be all right.
mean, my mother don't gamble like that, so I mean, if they got spades tournament,
Or
niggas,
yeah,
what?
spades or
Or
pinochle,
bid with some
bid
pinochle, them
whist.
niggas is in.
Yeah,
Those niggas about to run Vegas.
your mom frugal as hell, yo. She's frugal as the dude I ran into last night that tried to charge me extra for spicy mayo for my sushi. I'm like, yo, let me get some spicy mayo. Oh, we charge extra for that. For mayonnaise? Mayonnaise and hot sauce? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You better stop playing with me.
Oh man. Yo,
That's,
that's crazy.
that's your mom's. That's how I bought my first car, yo. The money she started putting away when I was born. Shout out. Shout out to her. She liked that. That's I guess when you work in the baking industry for so long.
Yeah.
She does it, yo.
Shout out to her, yo.
Your mom's
Shout out
probably
to
be at the
her.
dollar tables mad, yo. She be at the dollar tables mad after she lose five. Your mama,
Yo.
yo.
Yo, I've never seen a gamble ever. So yeah.
Yeah.
If they have a
Yo.
spades tournament out there, listen, they need to make that a gambling thing.
Yeah, yeah, my liver's trying. Yeah, spades would be dope, but
Hmm.
I thought
Niggas
about
will be
setting.
fighting.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. You know how we are, man. You know how we are. It just you dig. It hit the wood. Nah.
Yo,
You know, it just
you
it's the way it goes. You
you
bored
thought of,
talking.
you talk across the board. You thought about doing a space tournament down there?
Yeah, I thought about doing a space tournament down here.
Nah,
A
you
few
could easily do it. Easily.
a few times. I just got to really find the location and put the work in to do it. Find the right weekend because the overhead ain't gonna wouldn't be too much on it. It wouldn't be too much at all. Bring people together. Really, just setting out the rule book out front, making sure there's security there because it's gonna bring them out. Um, but I definitely thought about doing it. Here it's something that maybe for 2024
Yeah,
work for
have
me on
have
that.
it have it at an older spot, you know what I mean, for the older crowd. And it would have been good for football season to do it, um, make sure you had the New York crowd around. And there's so many New Yorkers down there, like, it's easy.
I think around Classic Weekend around here would have been great, like November, because that's when all of us be out here. But
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it's alright. I mean, there's enough space. Listen, there's space players everywhere, and anybody you talk to thinks they're the best space player in the world. So you throw the,
Question,
the
no question.
throw the competitive aspect into it, add a couple dollars if you win, and I think they'll show up for sure as we welcome to the stage, hailing from Miami, none other than the VP. Reese's, what's up, VP? We talking about just recapping birthdays real quick. EJ, I'm sure if I gave you two tries, you could probably guess what he did for his birthday. And I was just talking about my cruise that just happened, the experience
Oh,
with Royal Caribbean and the Oasis class.
cool.
They thought
Nice.
he they
Morning,
thought he
morning.
was
Happy birthday.
they thought he was Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. Or
I almost got locked up abroad messing around. Some fake tender ended up in my money that I didn't
Oh
know
man.
about. Yeah, but you can hear about that later. I won't start. I won't bore you with it. Bore the audience with it.
you had to go
Um,
get him, VP. You had to go get him, yo.
Somebody would have to come get me.
You had to be like, I'm American. I gotta go get him. I don't know what happened just now. He looked alarmed. I don't know what just happened. Aaron might have
Yeah,
got tired of his shit.
or he had to go to the bathroom real quick.
Mm.
Um, but he'll be back, I'm sure. So what else? What's going on, man? Happy birthday. Christmas is coming. You start your Christmas shopping? You done your Christmas shopping yet?
Yeah, I'm finished that. I'm finished that. My kids at an age where they want gift cards, or money, or stuff like that. You know what I mean? And Amazon, I mean, shoot, Amazon takes care of a lot of that work for you, right? So, you know,
Yeah. Amazon been slacking with their shipping lately though. They've been like, you expect the 2 day shit. And it's been taking 3 or 4. You gotta be
mine
careful.
mine been good up here so far. Knock on wherever the wood is around here. Yeah, mine's been
Pause.
good. But yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. But you got the wife and the kid. I mean, you don't have too much to do.
Yeah, I mean, she gets started early. She gets started early. Like my mom's is rubbed off on her, I think, because my mom started shopping in like May.
July.
She, right, I pop up on the 4th of July to her house, and she's like, "You think this will fit Ash for Christmas?" No, it's,
No.
it's 7 months away. He's a grown boy.
You're
See how
right.
he eats chicken nuggets? What's wrong
He'll
with
be
you, baby?
he'll be 6'5".
They be they start mad early. She be
Hmm.
buying toys and shit, and they just be laying around, and I'll be like, man, just give it to him. He bored or whatever. But I'm a last minute type person. I shop Christmas Eve, and this year is gonna be no different. I'm off, so I'll be out there next Sunday. I'll be out there. They be trying to shut the store at 6 o'clock. Like, yo, you gotta go, man. You gotta
You're
go.
sick. You're a sick individual, yo. You're a
Yeah,
sick
man.
man.
I wait till the last minute. I got a couple little things that I've already picked up, but usually, last I'm always last minute on some stuff, and I usually go out last minute to get the big gift, whatever the big gift is gonna be.
Hmm.
That's last minute because I don't have no self control. If I get it early, I'll be like, I'm the one that be like, yo, you sure you don't want to know what your Christmas present is?
Let's open it now.
Right, it'd be Halloween. Like, yo, you sure you don't know? You don't want it early,
Right.
and it just don't have the same value. I think if you do it like that, but
What do you get your wife these days? Like your wife, your spouse, your partner of a million years. What do you get? What do you get somebody these days?
you just gotta know what they like, man. Like
Mm.
for her, you know, for me, entertainment, entertainment. So I try to find some type of show or something like that we could go to, whether it's a concert. That'll be one of the things, and of course, can't go wrong with perfume or some type of jewelry. Um, you know, but
Okay, I think you just
you just
dropped some game. I think you dropped some game right there. I
just gotta
like
be
it.
you gotta be careful though because then they start to that's when the interrogation starts again. Like, how you know about this perfume? You know. My wife, my work wife told me about it. She smelled like that. The stripper smelled like it. But
Yeah, stripper perfume is top tier.
it's usually all the same, They
It's
all
top
smell.
tier.
I guess once it gets in your nostrils. At least that's what I've been told,
Allegedly.
allegedly. Um, but you finished with getting the kids all set up for Christmas.
Yeah, man. I mean, they got every, I mean, they're at the age again. It ain't no mystery. It ain't no. It's just break me off so I can do what I got to do, and that's it. That's it, really, for them. You
What
know.
age did you tell them that Santa Claus don't exist?
You know what? I don't actually ever remember telling them. I feel like
They figure
my
out at
kids,
school.
my kids. I'm about to say my kids are city school kids. You know what I mean? They're in Baltimore City, gritty East Coast city. I feel like these motherfuckers started knowing about Santa like when they were in school. Like, you know what I mean? I don't remember ever putting gifts under there talking about Santa. I don't remember it at all. At all.
That's
So
that's the problem when your kids got to go to school with poor kids. The poor kids' parents be like, "It ain't no damn Santa. I work all year to get you that shit." You know what I'm saying? And they mess it up for your kids. Like you like Santa brought this. No, no, no. Jerome said there ain't no Santa. His
right,
mama told him that she worked and bought all his gifts. Then you
right.
got to make up a lie like, well, no, Jerome was just bad and Santa didn't go to him, so his mom had to tell him that. It's crazy. My
Yeah,
son is
and
6, but
damn, 6 already.
mhm.
Yeah, man, by the time I turn around, he's gonna be like 13. But yeah, I mean, again, my kids are different. They go to school in the city. They know about so much stuff. And that's why I try to be real with them and raw with them. Like, I'll be in the car, they know all the Wu-Tang catalog. They know all the 80s and 70s R&B, because you know what it is to be in the city. You got to kind of toughen them up a little bit, make sure, they right. So I don't ever remember them believing in Santa ever. They
Mm.
might have been 4 years old the last time they could have believed in them. So
Yeah, my son is 6. I don't think he cares about where they where the gifts come from. They still say the ho 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 shit because that's what they tell him in school or whatever. But I don't think he really, I
he
don't
just
think he
gets
cares where
he
it's at.
just
Like,
gets to it.
hey, like just give me whatever's there. I'm ripping it open, you know.
I'm
And
getting to
really,
it.
yeah, I have the like I told you, I've got the problem of waiting until Christmas anyway. So
He done gave
I
him
got something in the
everything.
back of my car right now. I'm fighting not to give him,
Nigga, just give him everything. Trash, yo.
Yeah, man. But yeah. So Christmas shopping is done. But for those who haven't finished, well, for most people like myself, last minute. Be careful, man. It's they out there, man. It's tough right now. Economy's not doing as great as what people want to paint the picture as it's doing. I know the stock market looks great and everything, but the reality of it is people are still struggling. A lot of people are still working check to check or not check to check, and they out there getting to it how they live. If you look anywhere at reality beyond what the news tells you, there's people running up in stores and they'll take it from you just the same as they take it from the store. So just keep your third eye open. Pay attention to what you're doing. Know your surroundings. Like it's super important right now.
Yeah, it like we I don't know. I ain't gonna say what we were talking about, but again, being in the northeast mid-Atlantic area, and I told cats in DC, these in DC alone, the carjackings. I mean, this is the nation's capital, bro. Make it make sense for me, and I don't want to get too political, right? But with this nation, with all of these things that people say, right? In our nation's capital, where our politicians, our president, where people that run the country, you have young people running around with guns that have switches that carry 30 rounds. They're jumping out, they're taking cars, they're taking money, they're killing people. It is a rough time right now. And I'm not gonna say what is it, attributing to all of this stuff, but to your point, there are people they're hurting out there. And what we do know about this nation, while they say this is a nation of opportunity, there are a lot of people that just aren't there. Whether they made the wrong choices, whatever the case may be, the reality is there are haves and there are have-nots. And it is pretty bad. A gentleman in Baltimore City, I think, was maybe 69 or 65 or something like that, and got shot and robbed at gunpoint in his face. In his face. And you're talking about a grandpa. You know what I mean? So it's bad out here, man. Um, I know people live in Orlando where it's, nice in
Watch your mouth.
retirement and all of
Watch your
that
mouth.
good stuff. I'm just saying, in the rest of the country,
That's
people
why I
people are
live here.
taking it.
Now you're right. People are just. I think there's a lot of people that are just disconnected from what's going on in these other areas. They're only looking at immediate circles and immediate areas. And I tell you, Orlando, it's alright out here. It's alright out here. You really couldn't tell too much besides the fact that homelessness is on the rise, of course. But it's people getting back to reality after COVID, traveling, right? Disney World and everything that we have here for people to come to makes this state one that's going to always thrive. So you have to look outside of this at the Detroits, the Chicagos, the Baltimores, the New York Cities, the Phillies. Those are the places that you got to
Camdens,
look.
the Trentons,
Yeah,
I mean,
Houston's. Like you got to look at these areas and look at reality. Look past what they're showing you on TV to see what's really happening. Because there's some people out here that's doing bad, that are down bad.
yeah. Listen, Camden, New Jersey, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the capital of Pennsylvania, right? You got so many abandoned businesses up there because it was a factory town. Now you want to talk about emissions and getting safer for the environment. Well, you just cut this whole city out of what it used to do, you know? So you go up to Harrisburg right now, it is they're getting to it.
Yeah,
Businesses are closed down. They don't have anything out there. They're minutes away from York, Pennsylvania, which is also another place getting to it, which is only less than an hour from Baltimore. So you got people that come from here that go up there, historically have done what they've been doing. It's an open drug trade. It's just it's poverty. And it's, again, culturally, you want to say on the surface, absolutely, compared to a third world nation, people do have better opportunities. But if you're not culturally in tune to that, if you're socialized to believe that all you can do is sell drugs and do crimes, that's what you're gonna get. Like one America is one thing and another America is another thing. It's just I don't know, man. It's kind of disheartening when you look at it.
yeah. I think it's a little more than kind of, but yeah, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, again, people out there doing bad, and it's only going to get worse because
Yeah,
they lifted the ban on evictions and foreclosures, and that's coming. Let me tell you something. If you you think you're chilling, them banks on the backside is looking. So if you behind, you probably should start catching up right now because
yeah.
they gonna come. People gonna come a knocking, and even though your landlord might not be saying nothing, if they behind, them banks is gonna come get that house, and that landlord gonna kick you right the fuck out because they ain't got no choice. So I think just it's gonna get worse. I think before it gets better. People just have to be deliberate about their spending, and be responsible moving forward because it looks okay right now. They're telling you it looks good because of the market, but stuff is gonna catch up. And student loans is back. The
Tell me about
evictions,
it.
the foreclosures, the inflation is still high. Regardless of whether it peaked and it's starting to come down, it's still there. So just
And people ain't getting paid more. That's the other difference. People ain't getting paid more. The jobs that to me, I always said this, and I said this before. That's always going to be relative to the subscriber. What jobs are you talking about?
yeah, you're
Where
right.
are they? How what market share are they impacting? What is the educational level required of these things? What are we talking about? Because there's a lot of people out here that are looking for different things. What are we talking about?
Yeah, the wage increases is certainly not keeping up with the inflation. You know, not even in the least bit. And
Right?
it's a lot of people out there hustling and finding ways to make it. Right, the Uber Eats, the
But all of
Postmates,
that,
all that shit that you can.
but all of that is codependent on one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
people are not going to need Uber if they're not going out because they don't want to spend money, right? So,
You're right.
I mean, I took a Uber last night because I had a scholarship event that I had planned for a year, right? So one way or another, come hell or high water, I planned to be in an Uber, which was $23. But if I decided I wasn't going nowhere and I just got a bottle, if I wanted to afford a bottle and stay at home, okay, that's taking money off the Uber person's lap. You know what I mean? So when things are not booming, this is what happens. And we're talking about just us as black people. As a people, we spend more money than anyone in this nation.
Mm.
But 80% of us have student loan debt that we didn't know we were getting into when we got into it. Let's just be real. A lot of those student loan uh, deals that people are in, they are predatory loans. You gave somebody 200K knowing that they're only going to make 50 when they finish that degree.
And by the time they pay that 200K back, it's gonna be 500 easily. The way
500.
they be stepping on the interest.
And the other thing is you've also said to them, "Hey, we don't I mean, we talked about this last time, but we don't factor in your debt to income ratio." So again, you got black people out here that have to catch up after centuries of oppression, centuries of slavery, centuries of all of these things. We don't have the generational funding. We don't have the easy access to education like a lot of these people have. So we listen to the government. We listen to our politicians. We got into these loans. Now we're here trying to be the workforce, and we're in mountains of debt. And the unfortunate part is we had parents, we come from a generation that they either didn't get all of that education or they got it for free and they couldn't tell us about that shit. So we are the last of the people that really have to go through this because our kids are not going to go through this. But you're making it hard for us now. You know what I mean? So when I bring you the motion picture money, this is why.
Right, exactly. When I'm bringing you the fake money to the casinos because I got bills to pay.
I'm trying to get up.
Um, Allegedly. You said you went to an event last night. Did you bump into any slimmies, if you will? Is that what they're calling them? Is that
No, I don't know.
some hot toddies?
It was some things in there, but I brought my lady there.
Wait, what?
Um,
Wait a
yeah.
minute. We take 1 week off from the pod and you have a lady now?
Well, remember you were telling me you were saying something like I don't remember what analogy you were saying, but I told you I met somebody.
Oh, I was saying something. Okay.
Nah,
Go
you
ahead.
remember you told me something about I don't remember what it was you were telling me. Like you made an analogy like, just dab and do this or whatever. But I yeah, I told you about that. I got rid of the old work a few months, well,
I
more than a
remember
few
you
months back.
saying you got rid of the old work. I did not
Yeah.
know about the new work.
Yeah, I told you you were like you made some analogy. I had to go back and look at it, but nevertheless, went in there,
Oh,
did that.
oh,
But
okay.
let
So
me
you
tell you
had the
about the
misses with you,
yeah. And so
which
that was
sometimes could be even worse because sometimes they're even more disrespectful when you got the misses with you. When you by
okay.
yourself or with the homies, that's
They
what
don't
women
want
don't
nothing to do
understand.
with you. They don't want
Right.
nothing to do with you.
Women think when you go out with your boys that chicks is all over you. That ain't it. Chicks don't care
Nah.
when you with your homies. They care
Nope.
when you out with the other ones. When you out with them.
Precise, precisely right. Precisely right. That definitely was the case. Because I mean, it was joints in there that I had spoken to and known in the past and hadn't heard from and all of that. So to your point, but it was dope event. It was a dope event, scholarship event. We raise a lot of money where we giving a lot of scholarships to high school kids out here. So it's always for a good cause. But let me tell you about the old work. So stop officially dealing with her in August or something like that. And her thing was, well, let's continue to try to work it out and all of this, which really means in code, I want you to keep doing boyfriend things, but we're not
Mhm.
really together because you benefit me. I help your life, meaning me, I help her life. So we were doing that. And mind you, I should have never continued to deal with this person because she was a liar from the very beginning. But of course, let her tell it. That's not what it is. All right. So I come to find out she hacked my email to the point where she's in my DoorDash account, ordering DoorDash, looking at things I'm doing, reading my emails, sending correspondence to people she thinks I'm talking to. Really bad, real bad. And when you look at this person, oh, she's nice and she's educated and she would never do that, right? Nah,
She's a
but she did it.
professional.
I mean, I don't know who this person is, but I know I talked to her mother. I said, look, this needs to stop or else. This needs to stop or else. Like, tell your child to grow up. She's a scumbag. He ordered like $70 worth of DoorDash on my shit, then ordered some other shit. And you broke. Now, if I went over there and took a bat to your window, I'd be wrong, right? But I didn't do
Yes,
that.
you would still be wrong. Or you would still be wrong in that situation. But yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
do it. But it's just
It
nasty,
it
man.
sucks growing up, right? Like when you was younger, like if you was 20, you could have some things go over there and take care of the business. But now that we in our 40s, you gotta handle it responsibly.
I don't
Like
want to
you
get
can't send
nobody in
somebody over,
trouble. Yep.
right? You can't send somebody over there to do the deed and put hands on
Yeah,
somebody.
you're 100% right, man. Because that's the first thing I was thinking of. I was like, yo, back in the day, I'd have got you hit. But you know what? It is what it is, and it's just funny because it just all comes full circle for me. When you see people, they call you a narcissist, but at the same time, I'm telling you, I don't want to deal with you no more. Leave me alone. But because you feel like you possessed me and you own me, you want to do this stupidness. And that's what happens when you realize somebody was just using you to benefit their life. You know what I mean? It's nasty. It's very nasty. But hey, sh- shout out to her. I hope her fucking something happens. Let me not say that.
Yeah, wait till after January for that.
Yeah, right, right.
So you got a new thing holding you down. I guess that's why it's been a little bit quiet lately, huh?
Quiet in what? Quiet in what way?
uh, Draymond Green. Draymond Green is out here beating Draymond Green
Nasty.
out here beating people asses, man. I don't know if you saw it. Like we talked about it a couple weeks ago. He
Rudy
uh
Gobert.
choked up Rudy Gobert, and then the other night he did this wild ass
Yeah, hit
spinning
Nurkic.
ninja punch and hit Nurkic in the face and kind of laid him out where he got kicked out of the game and suspended indefinitely currently. Is what they put out there. So, do you think this was on time? Do you think Silver was late with this? Like, what took so long for Draymond Green to be put on the
I
shelf?
mean, I think you and other people have given, Adam Silver a lot of credit for his respectability to the players, his relatability to the players, his taking advice from the players, and I think he's tried. I mean, this dude Rasheed Wallace was on somebody's podcast saying that Draymond got this from us because he was a ball boy. Nah, a lot of the shit that Draymond has been doing has been sucker shit. Like you stepping on people when they're down. You taking haymaker punches, all of this dumb shit. You sucker punch your own teammate. Like at this point, it's just sucker shit. And then he goes on the podcast and he tries to sound so astute and make it seem like he's making all this sense. You're doing sucker shit, man. Just stop. Like it's not even that generation of basketball at this point.
Right.
You just look like a bully because back in the 90s, you would have got your ass whooped by now, or at least
Yeah.
somebody would have attempted to. Now you're doing it to a generation of guys that don't really have nothing for you. I was just going to tweet this the other day or X this the other day and say, I wish Michael Beasley was still in the league. Number one, he could still hoop. Number two, he'd have smacked the shit out of Draymond by now. You ain't got the Michael Beasleys in there no more. Like it just looks stupid. The game ain't even called for. You're just doing dirty shit at this point. And the things that he does, it's like intentionally to take that person out the game.
Hmm.
So it's like it's not even just being tough and playing tough basketball and then having an altercation. You're doing dirty shit. So I think Silver tried his best to try to give this guy some grace. But at this point, he can't continue to let you do this anymore. And nobody from Steve, shout out to Steve Kerr, who's finally saying something, right? He's finally saying something, but it took him forever. Steph Curry doesn't hold him accountable. Nobody holds him accountable. This dude needs to be held accountable. He needs to be sat down and told, you gotta relax, man. I mean, honestly, frankly, there's really no place for it in basketball anymore at this point.
Yeah, Draymond Green is. I mean, to your point, I think Adam Silver is just trying to be better than David Stern, in the sense of relatability to the fact that the league is dependent on black people, right? If only we had a president that did that. Um, and in that he is giving grace to Draymond, but he's giving far too much. Like the amount of leeway he's given this guy, the leash that he's put him on is so long that he just feels like he can continue to get away with this shit. Like allowing the team to deal with him punching a teammate in the face versus the league stepping in. Like the league is different if you don't have the video and it's a hearsay, but you saw the video of him punching um
Jordan
I don't
Poole.
even Jordan Poole in the face, right? Like, and you've seen him punch people in the balls, multiple times and act like
Stepping
and
on
kick people in
motherfucker
the
shit.
balls and
Like,
right and act like it's not intentional, and the world is like, nah, this he did that shit on purpose. Then he chokes up, Gobert, which I get it. You could say, all right, heat of the moment, it was a fight, he was reacting, all right, and that happened. But like this one, I mean, it shouldn't have even gotten here, yo. And at this point, he's just a menace. He's a menace. He's running around out there, and he's doing it to the right people because he wouldn't do that to like a Pat Bev. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't do that to guys that are gonna actually react to him. He's done it to all the guys that we know that you can tell are not like that. They not like that, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully he gets sat down for a long time, and he gets some time to think.
Yeah, I'm good with him being out. I mean, he's not one of those players that you pay to see, not for his basketball
Hmm.
performance. If
Right.
anything, you paying to see what stupid shit he's gonna do, and you're tarnishing the league at this point. Because again, we come from the era, right? Dr. J is from my neighborhood, guy from the mud, got it from the mud. When they in the 80s, when these guys got into altercations, there was dirty play. They got dealt with, they got addressed. 90s, same thing. Things get chippy, emotions get high. We scrapping, we doing this, we doing that. Draymond is out here. He's that guy that played basketball with you in the neighborhood, that booger nose kid that did some stupid shit, and the whole court whoops their ass.
Hmm.
Like when you hitting dudes in the nuts, stepping on people's chest, just like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And then
It,
you come on your podcast. This is the thing that pisses me off, right? Comes on this podcast acting so astute, like he knows what he's talking about. And he's one of the, I hate to hear him talk because he just doesn't sound very educated. That Michigan State shit, throw it out the window. He didn't sound very, doesn't sound very educated. And then he's justifying the nonsense that he's doing.
mhm.
Like, you really think you're okay?
I'm not even convinced that he can fight. I'm not even convinced he can fight because you don't never square up with nobody. Like it's always some weird shit where it can get stopped immediately, or he catches somebody from behind, pause, like he did with Rudy, And really, I still call, Carl Anthony Towns soft. Like, come on, man, you're not choking out my teammate in front of me, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, let go, hey, let go. Nah. At that point, you've crossed the line, and we just gonna have to deal with whatever suspensions, whatever fines, whatever comes from this. But I'm not even convinced that Draymond can fight. I think people are just afraid of him because he puts this bad boy act on, but I don't think he about that. I don't even think
I
he's
mean,
about
he's
that.
he's he's a big guy, that we can't ignore that fact. He's a big individual. Him sucker punching Jordan Poole. I mean, that was just bad. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of lost a lot of respect for him when he did that, and just the continual acts. What he did with Nurkic was just like, come on, bro. Like, are you serious? It don't even make sense. That's the thing. And when you're Adam Silver and you have this guy doing this, you got to make a statement. He's tarnishing the game. Literally, you don't see anything happen in this league if it ain't Draymond Green doing something stupid. And it's just stupid. It ain't even justifiable to be like, it was a hard foul, whatever, tensions got high. This dude is just doing stupidness. It's nasty. It's it's
Yeah,
it's a bad blemish on professional sports.
agreed, agreed. Um, LeBron James and the Lakers won the in-season tournament. We haven't met since that took place. I thought that they already, they said starting next year they were thinking about giving the winner of the in-season tournament,
Automatic
direct,
playoff berth.
yeah, automatic playoff. I thought that was starting this year. Um, but so really, the in-season this year was nothing. It was like here's a couple, it's $500,000, right? To the low end on the team, those guys are probably doing great, but to the guys like LeBron, AD, that's they're gonna donate that. They should be donating it somewhere, as a write off. But other than that, there really wasn't anything to it besides trying to make it seem like there was a playoff atmosphere, which I thought it started off super slow, but as you got towards the bracket piece, I thought it got a lot better. And I kind of liked it. I kind of like the way it ended, and I think if they put something to it, I don't know if an automatic playoff berth is it, but if they put something to it, yeah, it's it's definitely worth it. Because what
They
happens if you're winning at the end of the season, you're already in the playoffs.
they were getting to it. And the other thing about it, I will say, shout out to LeBron and the Lakers. LeBron may be a lot of things, but he is a visionary and he sees something in this. He doesn't have much time left in this league. We know that, right?
Mhm.
So them winning and them celebrating it, hey, I mean, listen, it brought some competition to the league at a point in the season where typically guys are dragging because they know it's a long season. It's so many games. You kind of have to give these guys something to want to play for, to be honest. I mean, and it might sound weird to the average person, but this season is like incredibly long. And if you're on a team that isn't expected to win, let's say for the Knicks, you're a middle of the road team, you're probably not going to win a championship anytime soon. Okay, let me go out here, let me catch lightning and maybe be relevant and win this in season thing and A, get some money, B, have a little bit of bragging rights. Although you may say it don't mean nothing, we competing out here. You know what I mean? And LeBron and them kind of set the standard to say, hey, it may not mean anything now, but we took it seriously. So who knows what the vision is gonna be going forward? You never know.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do the playoff piece to it, then maybe you do it later in the season versus earlier in the season, right? Because I know they did it early in the season because there's a lot of competition with the NFL, and if you look at the nights where NFL football plays Monday or Thursday nights, Monday nights, at least Thursdays, they're playing one NBA game or no NBA game, because they just can't compete. They couldn't compete. So maybe they're hoping that this is what'll do it. Um, and I think people start out still just the same, making fun of it, like what the hell is this? And then as you got into the bracket piece and the finals of it, that's when people got more engaged. But if you're going to do a playoff berth, it probably needs to be later in the season to where people have a reason to fight. Because right now, most of these teams don't have a reason to fight. And most of these teams that made it late, the Pacers, Milwaukee, the Lakers, they're likely going to be in the playoffs or in the play-in no matter what. So
Barring injury
right, barring injury. So I don't know that there's major and really
implications.
implications to it, and what spot do you give them, and then if they end up winning and making it to maybe they come in at the first or second seed, now what happens to that 8 seed or 7 seed that they would have gotten? Like it's just there's a lot to do about it, and maybe they've already thought this stuff through. They they're much more into
You would hope that they did, but as we often say, these people that are in these positions, they may not be all that bright.
just do the rollout, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the NBA, honestly, at some point, they got to consider shortening the season, in my opinion, or starting it later. Wait till football season is all the way done or nearing to the playoffs, something. Because a lot of these games, I mean, they're playing unless you're somebody who like you has daily fantasy with NBA, you're betting
Hmm.
on the games. I don't pay attention to this shit. I don't. The only time I've really been paying attention more recently is because I've been betting on NBA, which is something I never traditionally do. But
Right.
I don't care. I don't care about NBA in December. I mean, granted, Christmas game is always pretty good. That's always good, but I mean, you still got months left to really mean anything.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I to your point, I think the sports betting is the piece that makes people watch more um of everything at this point. And I guess that's why you're starting to see like the ESPNs and the different networks show the odds and odds to win from here and stuff on the bottom of on the scroller, so that people can see that. And if they have live bets or if they're going to go in and make a mid-game bet or something like that, they can do that. But yeah, that's the selling point I think during football season is just the fantasy aspect to it or the betting aspect to it because I don't think they shortened the season. I've said that multiple times. I like the 82 game season, but making it, more palatable and competing with the NFL is always going to be a challenge, especially when you got the NFL branching out. These motherfuckers had a Friday night game this year. They had Saturday
Saturday.
night games yesterday. They got Sunday on lock. They got Monday on lock, and they got Thursday night on lock. So you got basically Tuesday and Wednesday where you can't potentially be overshadowed. And what you probably got to start doing is when the NFL puts their schedules out, you got to start targeting those garbage Thursday night games and put some good NBA games on that night so people can shift over, or those garbage Monday night games or the decent Monday night games, and you put, you know, there won't be much LeBron going forward, but you put a Ja versus whoever the big star is. You know what I mean? Like you have to do that, or else the viewership is just going to continue to go down.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find ways to get creative. To your point, our generation of stars are dwindling down. You're gonna have to start to create some of these kids that are less known, the Jalen Brunsons, the
Shout out to
Goberts,
Jalen, 50 points the other night on Phoenix.
and I
Woo!
didn't even watch it. And I didn't even watch it.
I watched it. I had a lot of bets, so I won 200 that night.
You know what I mean? So again, you got to get creative. But speaking of sports betting, ESPN now has sports betting, which is wild
Hmm.
because to me, and I question, how do you have the leader of sports media having a sports book? If
Hmm.
anything, I would think that would
That's a conflict of interest.
there you go. They have the means and the pressure to impact the sports game by the things that they put out, by the coverage, everything. So I would just think that that would be something that would be against the law, but here we are. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I really believe that they're gonna need to do some serious investigations on these teams because I've been
These
betting on college
refs.
basketball, all of that. And there's been bets, man. I'm telling you, where these games are finishing just under two, just under one. This shit, they gotta be shaving points, yo. They gotta be. You can't give a team 40 points in the second half, right? And then just miss the over by two. You literally had to take your foot off the gas. You literally had to put the fucking ball boy in by that point. Literally.
I mean, it's possible that that's happening. I think it's more. There's definitely more likelihood that the refs are being paid off, or the refs have bets out there, because you're seeing guys like you see the technicals that are being run right now. Like, Jokic turned the other day and looked at the ref and said something, and they threw him out the game. They didn't just give him a tech; they gave him a double tech and threw him out the game, and he ain't even do shit. Like, he didn't do nothing. So now, if I'm a ref and I have a bet on, like, if it's plus 900 for whoever, to the Cleveland to beat Denver, and I can control it in that way, and I toss Jokic, that gives me that much better odds to win that. And now all I got to do is control the other pieces to it, right? Call the fouls accordingly. Like, it's crazy. I think they need to do a better job with these refs, because you're seeing it in NFL as well. You're seeing it in NBA. We saw it in MLB in the World Series. That the last out of the World Series, the world was like, "Yo, how could you call that a strike?" Like, it's been growing, and now that it's starting to move to everywhere. We just finally got it here in Florida where you can do online betting, and that just rolled out last week. So now, when you start to roll into Florida, and then I think there's maybe 12 states left that you can't do online betting at this point. Once it starts to branch out and every state is covered, it's going to be even harder to find people that are subjective, or objective rather, when they're making these decisions and these calls as referees or anything else for that matter.
I mean, once we saw Tim, what was it, Tim Donahue? Once that guy came out and said what it was, all bets are off for me. All bets are
Mhm.
off. Going back to the NFL, and we were talking about Kadarius Toney again. And people show pictures where Tyreek Hill was lined up offsides plenty of times. So when you go back to that, and then I go back to the Chiefs versus Jets game this year, how we get the pick to go back and drive down the field. The referee doesn't throw the flag until the pick happens. They call illegal contact, but he doesn't throw the flag until we pick off Mahomes. So again, I said this, and this was week 3. Nobody wanted to hear me. When you look at what happened with KC, I believe right now that the league is trying to push for Buffalo to get into the playoffs. They can't have their poster child, Josh Allen, not miss the playoffs.
Who fell
They
down
can't.
this week?
I believe they're pushing them to get in because everything is setting up for the AFC East right now to have a little bit more parity. If we somehow beat the Dolphins today, that knocks them a little bit down. You got teams in the AFC that are losing. You got even yesterday with Cincinnati, shouldn't even have lost to Minnesota. I mean, shouldn't even have beat Minnesota. I'm telling you, man, the league is pushing for the Bills to get in the playoffs. They want the Bengals to be in there. Cleveland is going to find its way out. Watch. Cleveland is starting to find its way out because that team is already supposed to be left for dead. Nobody except for me believed that Joe Flacco was going to go in there and do what he's doing. Listen, they're going to hit the wall soon. The NFL is pushing the narrative of what they want to see. They want to see Josh Allen. They want to see Lamar scrap. They want to see Patrick Mahomes, and they want to see Trevor Lawrence in there.
And
They
Jalen
wanted to
Hurts.
have Joe Burrow in there, but you
Right.
know what can
They
we do?
lost. They lost Joey B. But yeah, no, you're right, and we'll see it today. I mean, the 4 o'clock game is a huge game. It's going to be the Cowboys versus
Buffalo.
Buffalo. When you're talking about Josh
Ooh.
Allen, we'll
We,
see. It's in Buffalo.
we,
If there's
oh,
any team right now that can give them a run for their money, it is the Cowboys. And so,
the
you know,
Cowboys should
with
win that game.
with the defense, the defense that they play, the way the offense is playing, unless the Bills come out and they're just on 10, I think there has to be some type of impact from the refs for them to win this game. Of course, it's any given Sunday. We've seen it happen on any team can beat any team. We've seen some shitty teams beat some good teams. We've seen mediocre beat good. We've seen good beat good, and so on, right? Um, but it's something to be watched for. Um, Similarly with Philly and Seattle, right? Like if Philly's been the favorite all season. If you're someone who bet against Philly to make the playoffs or to win the NFC East and you're a ref, then you might start calling things differently, right? You might be somebody who gives Seattle some calls today. Like there's a lot to keep an eye on. But I don't want to make it seem like the NFL has lost its integrity. But they need to make sure that
We got we got any listen, and you and I are we don't always agree on everything. I mean, we agree on a lot more than we give each other credit for. But we, as in politics, we are very open to be skeptical to the things that we support. We're both Democrats, but we're also skeptics to what they do and what they
Mhm.
don't do, right? We would be fools while we love the game of football. You know football a little bit longer than me. Your father was the one that put it in my brain, same as he did you. I played the game. I loved the game, but we would be idiots to not sit here
To
and be
not question it,
skeptics. I
right?
mean, I watched again. I told y'all I watched Game 3 prime time against the Chiefs. Zach Wilson is balling. We should have beaten Kansas City, completely beaten them. But I watched the referees miss the no call holding on Jermaine Johnson, the phantom illegal contact that they call on Sauce Gardner, but they don't call it until he picks off Mahomes. I watched it. So I mean, we would be boneheads to not believe that there's some things going on. And who knows what the front office is doing when they're looking at these games. They gotta be firing dudes. They gotta be doing what they gotta do, and they gotta keep it quiet because if anything comes out, it messes up the league.
Right. Yeah. No question. Um, I still think. there's we're set up for a big finish in the NFL. There's a lot of big games that are going to come up that are going to impact playoff seeding, and it should be good nonetheless, right? Regardless of what the rest decide to do. But they do have a lot of control, a lot of power. We've seen it throughout the year and throughout the season. Hopefully, um, you know, somebody somewhere has called an all referee meeting or some shit and been like, yo, get y'all shit together. Like, we can't be in the news this is every week now, right? Before you might see it, once every 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in the season, you might see a really big miss bad call. But this is every week. It's week over week. You cannot continue. And with all the streaming and all the games being available now, before you might have had two games available. Whatever the two games were on locally, you could see it. But now you're streaming everything through YouTube, and you got other ways that people are getting to it. These calls are being magnified, or these missed calls, just the same, being magnified. NFL's got to do a better job, and make sure that the people they put in position to make these calls are legit, especially when you're talking about the big games. Take the bums, the bum refs, and put them on the bum games. The teams that are clearly out, that are not gonna make it. Those are the games you need to put the bum refs on. But the ones that are stand 10 toes down, you got to put them on the big games.
Here's the other thing that we're also not thinking about, right? We're talking about the referees. Calvin Ridley bet on himself. Calvin Ridley bet on games. So
Hmm.
you mean to tell me there's only one Calvin Ridley?
Oh, definitely not.
So when I look at college basketball and I'm looking at these guys finishing games just underneath 2 points of the over, I mean they're literally going out their way to not get to the over. You can't tell me a little coach at St. Peter's ain't pushing his guys to do something because he making the look. Listen, you put 20K on the right parlay and you can influence the outcome. I
Or
literally had
just the individual prop, a player prop.
the individual player prop, the game itself. I literally had a 7 game, 8 game joint that was a winner, obvious winner, but you had the one joint that was two under. You mean to tell me that a coach, a booster, some local thug, who knows? You never know. All bets are off. The money's out there. The money is
Yeah,
out there. And like I said, Tim Donnie broke the mold. He let us know that it happened. He's just the only one that got caught.
yeah.
Pete
Speaking of,
Rose.
yeah, Pete Rose. Somebody else recently came out and said that they were betting. I forget. I had put it in the chat. I'll have to look at it. But let's as we're talking about it, I want to look at these games, and I'm gonna put some parlays in, or at least one parlay in right now. Damn, I lost one last night on the NBA. To
I
be
lost
real.
one because of the Detroit game. And whoever they beat Denver. They blew Denver out. I had Denver winning.
I
Um,
hit I hit 8 out of 10 legs last night, and the Pacers lost to fucking Timberwolves. Killed me.
yeah, again, it just shit that shouldn't be happening. I got a lot of money lines in today.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now. What I'm looking at is money line. So we have Atlanta going into Carolina.
Hmm.
Um, let me get rid of that. All right. So Atlanta going into Carolina. Carolina is plus 130. Atlanta is minus 155. It's a 2.5 point spread that they have it in favor of Atlanta. Atlanta's given 2.5 up.
I stayed away
I'm
from that game.
I'm gonna bet it. I'm gonna bet it money line. I think Bijan gets big pause this week. And I'm gonna go with Atlanta because I think that's a good bet at
Hmm.
minus 155. That'll be the first leg of the parlay. Chicago goes into Cleveland. This is one that I was scared of, and actually the line just changed on Atlanta Carolina. They're giving Carolina three more, or giving Atlanta three instead of 2.5 now, or Carolina three.
I wouldn't be afraid of this game so much. I think Cleveland's gonna win that. But I mean, if Joe Flacco gets hurt, or I don't know.
Cleveland's 8-5. It's in Cleveland.
Hmm.
Um, it's another one that's 2.5 to Chicago. Over under of 37. Um, I can get on board with Cleveland. This was one that I was worried about. Only because Chicago's been kind of finding its way lately. But that Cleveland defense is just different, man.
And it's in Cleveland. I mean, for me as a Jets fan, I would love Cleveland to lose, but I don't see them losing that one.
I'm gonna go
It's
Cleveland with this one. So right
yeah,
now I have it Atlanta, Cleveland. I'm gonna do 5 bet parlays and then I'll restart. Houston goes into Tennessee. This is a divisional game, and CJ
no
Stroud
CJ
is on.
Stroud. Yeah, no
Right.
CJ Stroud. I gotta go against Houston. No CJ Stroud. That's it.
Yeah, they got Houston getting 3. I'm gonna take Tennessee on this one,
Hmm.
of course. It only makes sense. Kansas City, New England. I would not go spread on this one because it's an 8-point spread, and New England's defense is finding ways, and
Always, always shows up. It always shows up.
Kansas City can't catch the ball. Um, but I don't know that I want this money line either because it's minus 400 for Kansas City, so that's gonna really blow my parlay out.
Mine was minus 390, but I took it anyway. I mean, I got a 9 leg parlay. So it's for me to cash in. So
The next game is another one that I'm afraid of, which is the Jets and I'm sorry, not the Jets. I didn't get there yet. Giants in New Orleans.
I took the Giants. I think they're on to something. Um, I just don't think New Orleans is a good football team at all. I took the Giants. They're in New Orleans though,
They're in New
but I took the
Orleans.
Giants.
David Carr plays good in the dome. I'm not really sold on DeVito as being the guy. And New Orleans run defense is pretty good, so I'm worried about Barkley.
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna take New Orleans in this parlay for the sake of it, and that gives me 4. And then so this one is one where on my other parlay, the Jets Miami, I took the Jets to cover 8 because I don't while I don't know who's gonna win this game, I think the Jets can win, and if they do, then I get the cover. But
hmm
if they don't, I think they keep it close enough with the defense because Miami has not looked great lately to where Miami might sneak through with a 3-point win or maybe sneak through with a last minute touchdown or some wild ass shit if they win this game. So I think it's going to be closer than 8 points, which is why I chose um, the Jets to cover the 8 points on this one.
I'll say this about this game. Um, the Dolphins have historically had bad Decembers. They picked the wrong time to get unhealthy. The Jets are fairly healthy right now. When you look at Miami, you got Deshaun Elliott. Their safety is out. He's questionable rather. Didn't Oh no, he's out. I'm sorry. You got Robert Hunt, who is their starting guard. He's out. Tyreek Hill hasn't practiced all week, but he's questionable. Achan hasn't practiced all week except for yesterday. Limited. Teron Armstead was limited. They got a lot of injuries.
Mm.
Raheem Mostert is on the fucking injury report every fucking week, like this guy. So yeah, they're a pretty unhealthy team right now. So that might really play a factor today that they're very unhealthy and they have some December woes. If Tyreek doesn't play, it's gonna be very questionable. And if he does play, I don't know that he's gonna be 100%. That O line, I don't know how good they're gonna be without their starting center. They lost for the season. Their starting guard is out, and Teron Armstead, who's their starting tackle, has been banged up. So it's gonna be something to see. It's gonna be
What
something to
happened in
see.
the first game? Didn't you guys play them?
We played them in the first game. It was close. It was going to be 10-6 going into the half, and then Tim Boyle throws a 99-yard interception. Let's remember Tim Boyle started that game.
Oh, Zach Wilson is starting this game, right?
Yeah. So
He's
that
back at
that's
the helm.
also another factor. We no, Tim Boyle didn't start. I think Zach Wilson got benched and then they put Tim Boyle in, which was nasty. So
Okay.
It was just a nasty offensive showing. So I mean, if we can score any offense, Miami's going down.
Okay. Um. All right. Tampa Bay is going into Green Bay.
I'm taking Tampa. I just
I think
like
this.
Baker
I
Mayfield.
think it's a trap game on both sides. Let's see.
I just like Baker Mayfield. I don't think Green Bay has anything to do for him.
Okay. I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm gonna take. So Tampa Bay is plus 165. So I'm gonna take them. Um, money line. Arizona. This is a new parlay. San Francisco going into Arizona. This money line is crazy. 850 minus 850. I don't know that I want any points, any parts of that. Arizona is getting 12. It's divisional. I don't know, man. I think Arizona might be able to cover 12, but they suck. But Kyler
Real bad.
Murray's playing. Kyler Murray's playing. San Fran's defense is, they can be had, especially when you have some familiarity with them.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take Arizona covering the 12.
It's a risky bet, but pays
It
off.
is. It is. This is gonna be the risky parlay. I got Tampa Bay at plus 165, Arizona plus 12 at minus 110. Washington and the Rams. I think the Rams get this easily.
They should.
I also think this is definitely a trap game, but the over under on this one is 49. That might be the better bet. Do you think that the two of them score 49 points?
I don't know. And then I feel like Aaron Donald should have a hell of a game today versus Washington team. It's in
Hmm.
LA, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. This one is
It's a
this one's
nasty week. This is low key a nasty week.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go under 49 on this one. I'm gonna go under 49 on the Rams Washington game. Because that's what 28-21 is basically what they're saying if they go over or if they match. Yeah, I'm gonna go under 49 on this one. I don't know if I see that happening. Dallas
Yeah,
Buffalo. Dallas are underdogs on this one.
which is
Um,
crazy to me.
two
It's
point
crazy to
dogs
me.
on the road to Buffalo. I'm taking Dallas money line plus 110. That's
That's
the
what I
fourth
got.
leg. And then the last leg of this one for today would be Baltimore Jacksonville. Um,
I
they got
took Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. They got Jacksonville getting 3.5 at
Yep,
home.
yep. I took that.
You got Jacksonville straight on the money,
Nah, I
or
took
you
them with
got them
three and a
getting three
half
and a
on
half.
one parlay. Yeah, I
Okay,
took them on one parlay with 3.5. I
I'm gonna
left them
take
off
them.
the other one.
I'm gonna take them 3.5 because I feel like you probably feel the same way as me. If Baltimore wins this game, it could be a last minute Justin
Last minute
Tucker
joint. Yep,
field goal.
yep.
So I'm gonna take that one. That's a plus 36 92 5 bet parlay, and I'm going to put 25 on that with a return of 947.
Mm. Oh,
Let's see if that can hit.
hold on. I might have to do that one. I might have to do one of them joints with you.
And then the last game we didn't cover, which is pretty big, is Philly Seattle.
Right.
VP just hit us on the side that Jalen Hurts was downgraded to questionable due to the
Mm,
illness they talked about yesterday.
mm.
I saw that note come up yesterday where they said he was still traveling and expected to play, but VP has updated us and told us that he is downgraded to questionable, and Marcus Mariota would be the
There's a backup.
backup
And
if Jalen Hurts can't go.
Seattle historically is like undefeated versus Philly or some shit like for
I
the
think it's like
last.
12 matchups. The last time
Right.
they beat him was like 93 or some wild ass
Right.
shit. Like it's
Right.
crazy.
Right.
Um this is a good one. They got right now Seattle's getting 2.5. I think that's a really good bet, not knowing if Jalen Hurts plays. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play, that could be an easy win right there. That plus 2.5
Mm-hmm.
on Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Um over under is 45. and plus 130 if you take Seattle on the money line, minus 155 you take Philly on the money line. This one is this one's a scary. This one can be scary because you don't know what's gonna happen. I might wait on that to touch that tomorrow, Pauls.
So what parlay do you have right now that you feel is sure to win that I should put down and put more money on? What do you feel? Cleveland money line, I know is on one of them.
I think it's the four leg that or the no, this is a five leg. This one doesn't have great odds, but I
Hmm.
got Falcons to win straight out, Browns to win straight out.
Hmm.
I got Titans covering the three against Texans only because it was minus 115, minus like minus 600 or something. I got
Texans to
this
cover. Okay, I'll take that. Cover is 3.5 on FanDuel. I'll take that.
um Titans. I got the Titans covering.
Okay.
I chose the Saints straight. I know you had the Giants there, but
I'm not touching that game.
and then I got on this one I got the Chiefs money line,
Chiefs money
which
line.
is minus 400. So that one is what probably brought my odds down. But this one comes out at plus 798 and it's $20 for 180.
All
179
right,
and
let me
change.
see. I can't find the Chiefs game. I don't know why I can't find the Chiefs game right now. No, okay, there we go. So I'm gonna take them. It's minus. Okay, minus 400.
I do have a live 14 game parlay going right now. That's still going from yesterday, but it's three legs in, and there's good potential on this as I'm watching it. This was all the games that are playing this week. Um, the one questionable one is the Jets. I got the Jets at plus 8.5 yesterday.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with that. Um, we got the NBA today. Okay,
Mhm.
because I can add some NBA shit to this. The Celtics just lost the other day, but they got Orlando at home. How do you
Orlando at
feel about?
home.
No, they got Boston. Boston's at home, and they got Orlando. How do you feel about that game?
They just played the other night, and I bet on Orlando as part of my parlay to sneak it out, and they didn't. Boston beat up on them.
Mm,
Orlando's playing good ball right now, but they got Boston as an 8.5 point um, favorite with an over under of 228.5. I think the better bet on this one
mm.
might be going the over of 228.5 than unless you want the minus 400 on Boston. Minus 400 money line.
It's
I think that's
370 on FanDuel.
yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for the
Is
wins right now. I mean,
oh, oh
I'll,
the
I
guarantee joints.
yeah, I'll load up my ticket for a win. I just need to win something. I'm at that point. I'm at
All
that
right.
point.
Well, in that case, then you probably need a long parlay pause of
Yeah.
guaranteed wins, or
Yep. Yep.
and I think
Should be.
you could make that in the NBA today and throw a couple.
Hmm.
So like Boston, Orlando. I think you got. I wouldn't touch the Pelicans in San Antonio.
Nope.
Milwaukee, Houston. I think Milwaukee is almost a wash. They're minus 275 on the app I'm looking at.
290 on mine.
Yeah, I think that's a win. And then I also think Phoenix, they got them at minus 650
Phoenix,
against
Phoenix should
Washington.
definitely win.
That should be a definite.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not touching Portland,
Yeah. So I'd
Golden
probably throw
State.
Phoenix. Actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Phoenix, Milwaukee, Boston, all money line. That parlay is trash right now. But then when I throw some NFL in there and I'm gonna
I
throw
might take the
Kansas.
I might take the Titans off because that 3.5 is bothering me. Even
Yeah,
though the
take them off.
Texans are, because I
If
don't
you're
even know
talking
who
about,
the
yeah, you're talking about guarantees, right? I would take the Titans off of that one then.
yeah, I don't even know who their quarterback is, but oh, Will
I'm gonna put
Levis, right?
Levis, yeah. I'm gonna put Kansas City on this one, right? And then I'm gonna put
Jesus Christ, $20 only gets me $88.
see, I'm gonna put Miami on it on the money line
Oh my
at minus
gosh.
400. I'm gonna put San Fran on it
Oh,
on the
that's
money
nasty.
line minus 850.
Mm.
This is trash. This is a trash parlay.
Yeah,
I I need one. Then I'm gonna throw the Cowboys on there because
it'll
the
hit.
Cowboys.
It'll
What's your
hit.
loss?
It'll hit, but we'll be mad as shit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit for trash. Yeah, this is
Mm,
a this is a garbage parlay. It's
yeah,
gonna hit.
yeah.
If I
Yeah,
take the Cowboys off at plus odds, it's only plus 243. So it's a 6 leg parlay that for $100 only returns 240. Ugh,
it's nasty.
yeah, I'm not touching that. That's too much. That's too low of odds. And maybe if I take the 49ers off at minus 850 and then throw the Cowboys at plus 110, that'll change it up.
All right, this is a little better. Cleveland, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Boston, Milwaukee, Phoenix, Cowboys. That will get you at 20. I'm looking at 200.
That's not bad.
That's not
How
bad.
many how many teams is that?
Seven leg parlay. 10 gets me $101. That's not bad. That's not bad. I got
Yep.
Cowboys money line, Phoenix Suns money line, Bucks money line, Celtics money line, Rams money line, KC money line, and Cleveland money line. That's not bad. And I don't see my plus odds. I'm at plus 1019 with this, and I'm dropping
That's
fast.
not Yeah, exactly. Lines are changing probably as injuries come out.
Yep. I'm putting
Um
this down for sure.
I
Because
was about to
if
say
I
you
win
should
100,
probably
I'm good.
let me
If I
see, you
win
should
100,
probably
I'm not bad. Because I'll take that and flip it on another one, right?
yep.
So I'll take 100.
You think the Rams cover? Well, I'm gonna take the Cowboys here.
I'm taking the Rams money line. You don't know nothing about that.
Rams money line.
Yeah, they should win. I mean, stranger things have happened.
So I got a five legger with Suns and Wizards under 245 and a half. I don't see that going 245 and a half. Not even close.
That makes
That's
sense.
a lot. I got the Bucks winning straight
Yeah,
up. I got the Celtics winning straight up. I got the
I should add
Cowboys
that.
Cowboys
I
winning
should add
straight
that
up, and the Rams winning straight up.
because the Wizards are have a lot of injuries, and they're just a bad team. They're just a bad team.
Yeah,
So $10 really didn't do too much more for me though. When I added it, I didn't really do too much more. So I already had 10 on it.
yeah. I don't see them getting to 245. Phoenix. That in order for them to get to 245, you're saying basically 122 to 123.
Right. And
I,
Washington don't got that firepower.
right. I don't know that it gets there.
I'm lying. I said that doesn't add anything to it. I'm lying. That added an extra $100 for me. So I'm going with that big guy. Good one. Good one on that. That's in. That's in. I'm going with that. I'm gonna hit that one at the very least.
Hmm.
My other joints, I got a 9 legger that'll get me a $1,200 payout for $5. And I got a 7 legger that'll get me 355 for $5. That has Tampa money line, Giants money line, Tennessee, Cleveland, Kansas City, Los Angeles, and Dallas. So I'm really going to be paying attention to those 3 games: Tampa, Giants, and Tennessee. The other ones I feel like are locks. So I mean, that might
Yeah.
not be bad.
Yeah.
One of them are going to
You,
find a way to fuck me though.
it always happens. It always happens. And then you got the refs and you got everything that goes along with it. So, but it's all right. You got a bunch of them, right? So you'll be hedging your bet somewhere with a couple of
Mm-hmm.
them. I
Mm-hmm.
might hedge. I might hedge my bet somewhere, putting Buffalo on a parlay to beat the Cowboys because I got them on like 3 or 4 different parlays.
Yeah.
Um.
Right. Right.
So.
I mean,
Um.
Dallas should win though, man. I mean, like I said, I think the league is pushing for the Bills to get in, but I think Dallas should win. I can't see it. I can't see it. Buffalo is not a good team. They're just not a good team.
They're not a consistent team, but when they're
Right.
good, they're good.
I
When they're
think
on, they're
Micah.
on.
I think Micah. Micah. I think Micah's gonna eat today.
I also
That's
think Washington could be a trap game against the Rams, but
no question. But I also think because McVay is playing for nothing at this point, I think they're gonna win. But like you said, we don't know, man, with all those factors going in. But yo, get off the sports. Our girl, our girl from the Bronx, our Bronx sister, our Bronx born sister, who I love to death. Cardi B and Offset. What is going on, Steve?
You know I like Cardi B.
I love Cardi. I love Cardi.
Well, Offset's a cornball.
We killed Cardi for her lyrics, but we were just being objective. So let's be real about that. But I love Cardi. Love Cardi B. What
Yeah,
is going on?
Offset is a cornball. You know, listen, the one thing I've always given to the Migos is that they fight. Them dudes fight. Like we've heard lots of times where they just get it, they get to it. So I give him that. But he's a cornball. Like Cardi held him down. I feel like she's held him down over and over and over. She's constantly held him down. He's been caught cheating before, and she's still stuck with him. Like she was the big name of the two of them, right? When you talk about a couple of stars, she was the star. Um, and I think she still is really. I think she has more star power than Offset any day
Absolutely.
by
Absolutely.
far. And she
No
she,
question.
she she's a G. She's a G with it. But and so for those who don't know, she was on Instagram live yesterday. She was crying, basically saying, it's a wrap. I'm done. I'm gonna take it there. You cheated on me again. I've been holding you down. Blah blah blah. And
Sad.
it is, it is. Nicki Minaj took the low road. They stay beefing, Nicki and Cardi. Nicki came out and she put a meme up. Basically saying she's enjoying what's going on. And Cardi told her, "Don't come at me today. Today not the day, bitch." Um,
Yo,
um,
damn,
but
Nikki.
also, I don't think he's thinking, man. You got kids with her. You got kids with her, and even though she the breadwinner, like it can get real nasty for you, big dog. Especially when there's a lot of bitches coming out saying that they slept with you recently.
Not to mention your dead homie, rest in peace. Your dead group member is getting accused of sexual assault beyond the grave. So if that occurred, I don't remember which one was close to because Offset distanced himself from Quavo and the other
Tyreek
one,
Hill
right?
is inactive
Is
today.
yeah, I
Tyreek
saw that.
Hill.
I saw that.
Damn, that Jets bet is looking so much better. That's why they just took it off the. I just went and looked at the app and it's gone. Them odds changed. I'm glad I got him at that +8. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Good call. Good call. I don't remember which one was. So it's Takeoff is Offset and Quavo, right?
Yeah,
So
Offset, Takeoff. Takeoff
Offset
is the one that died.
that died, and
That was killed.
Quavo and Offset. I mean, Quavo and Takeoff were the ones that were close. Like when they
Quavo and
split.
Takeoff were super close. Yeah, they grew up like
Okay,
young kids.
and
Young kids.
so Offset is Cardi B's dude.
And Offset is
So
Cardi B's dude.
I mean, yeah. Again, you're in the position right now, my friend Offset, where the desire for the Migos since y'all broke up has squandered. People were praying and hoping that they got back together to recreate the magic, right? Now one brother is gone tragically. You're looking at a group here that had a phenomenal run, right?
Hmm.
But they probably are gonna have the biggest drop off ever because it's basically non-existent at this point. It's two of y'all left. Y'all not even speaking. There's no music for y'all to be made as solo artists. None. Nobody's gonna want to hear your side of the story in this Cardi B shit. Cardi B is America's hood darling. She's the
Right.
most perfect, imperfect, most real thing. I mean, because Meg The Stallion, people used to feel that way about her, but then a lot of shady shit.
All the stuff that's been going on. But
Yeah,
but Cardi
Cardi.
but Cardi comes out, she speaks about Trump negatively. Like so you got that whole demo that fucks with her on that side that don't even watch hip hop. They don't watch Love and Hip Hop, they don't listen to her music, but she's slandering Trump, so they'll fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? So now you got her, and the thing about Cardi is she not afraid to come out and say anything, regardless of how hood she sounds. She'll talk, she'll speak on anything. She partnered herself. Put herself with Meg The Stallion, so she grew her base there. she's just it. You know what I'm
She
saying?
can't
She's
lose, man. She can't lose.
you put yourself he put himself in a bad situation at a bad time, especially since he just had an album come out. Which the album, I don't fucks with that kind of music, and I don't, it really wasn't that bad. Like I went through it to listen to a couple tracks just to see, and it wasn't that bad. The production was pretty good. He
Nigga
slowed
said,
down a little
nigga
bit. He's
said
not,
that kind of music.
yeah, I don't listen to that trap shit. Um, but he kind of slowed down, and you can kind of hear what he's saying, and to me, it makes the music better.
Hmm.
Um, it's just a bad time for him, man, and this is a loss, I think, for him. So, um, but shout out to Cardi B. Obviously, if we're both in relationships, but if Cardi needs a friend,
Man, listen.
I'm a
Man,
gigolo,
listen.
spending lots of dough.
Man, listen. Shout out to my girl Cardi. We gonna tag you on this, baby. We love you. You know what I'm saying? We love you here. We all born in the Bronx here. We gotta stick with our Bronx natives,
Hmm. Hmm.
Unfortunate for her though, man. Unfortunate for her. And like you said, man, she seems like one of those people that are just really real. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, she doesn't forget where she came from for good or for worse. Shout out to her. And I mean, we know how relationships can be. We're not vilifying Offset, not at all. Do your thing, big dog, but just know it could get nasty for you here, champ. And get real
Right.
nasty.
Yeah. No, no doubt. No doubt. Um, what else? Did we miss anything? We talked about Draymond. We talked about Cardi, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was on Kai Cenat's show, dancing, legs all popped open. Nicki Minaj, she looking alright.
Onika,
She look, yeah,
young
yeah,
Onika,
she looking alright.
she a Queens chick.
She got an album out. I listened to some of that too on the way to work the other day, and just to it was alright. It was
I
alright.
didn't get to listen to it yet.
Um, it's not the greatest. Fab is coming out with some music. I'm excited about that. He put out a little teaser the other night, 2 nights ago, basically saying it's my season. I think he said "tis my season." And sometimes when Fab get on his shit, he I fucks with Fab, man.
You love
Fab is
Fab. You
I
you
fucks with
swear
Fab.
by Fab.
I do. Fab is in my top. He's in my top. I can't tell you which top, whether it's top
He's
10
there.
or
He's there.
fives, but
Or
he's up there
20.
for
He's
me.
up there.
He's
Yeah.
definitely up there for me.
You love Fab. You always love Fab. I gotta
I,
give you that.
I hold Fab in the likes of Jada. Shit. I even hold him in the likes of Hove to hold down Brooklyn. Like I fucks with Fab heavy. So I'm excited about this. Hopefully he puts out something that's um
Classic.
yeah, I would say classic to his sound. And because when he starts to get on those southern beats and he starts fucking with drama and stuff, he's not my favorite Fab. I like the Fab that's up north, you
That
know,
OG, that
OG.
Junior
Yeah,
Reed collabo shit. When he did
pretty.
that shit,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's one of my favorite rap songs ever. That collaboration with Junior Reed and him.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh my god, one of the best rap songs I've ever heard in my life. I mean, just
Yeah.
whoa, the
I
chills I
definitely.
feel talking about it.
I look forward to that. What about so next week is Christmas Eve. You got any plans for Christmas?
Nah, man. I mean, Sunday. Me. I pretty much keep my schedule very close to the kids. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that Sunday Eve, I will be at home likely by myself or with the old lady. And then Monday, they'll venture their way over here, probably go to, their grandma's. You never been to the house yet, but probably go to their grandma's side of the house because she has her in-law suite. So they'll probably start there and, do their gift thing. Their mother, probably go over there.
Because grandma gonna be awake early. That's why.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean it's a good place for us to kind of all be there
Hmm.
without, any nonsense. But knowing them, they probably I don't know, they might wake up with their moms and open stuff there. and then which if that is the case, it'll take them a while to get here, which is cool. I'll be waking up from a hangover most likely. So yeah, man. I mean, enjoying Sunday that day, knowing that I don't have to go to work the next day. That's great.
Cowboys play that day. Cowboys in Miami.
Mm. And
In Miami,
Tyreek Hill being out, and this is a major Sunday for them today.
it is. It's a big one. I hope he's out next week too. Um,
It just
I'm
might
off for
be.
the rest of the year. I don't go back to work till after the new year. This first time I've ever had anything like this, so I look forward to this. Um, Florida pulled a fast one on us. I thought the kids' winter break started now, like tomorrow. They pushed it back. They pushed it back a week, so it don't start until next Monday. And so I took this week and next week off, thinking, all right, I'm gonna chill with Ash for the last 2 weeks of the year. He's gonna be in school this week, and then
You ain't
I'll
gonna
have
have shit to do.
I'll be able to chill. Nah, I got some stuff to do. I got some cleaning up to do around here. This room here got to be cleaned up so this green screen can be used properly. Um, yeah,
Listen, my boy, what you gonna wind up
and I'm
doing?
gonna catch up on some TV.
Does Ash get first of all, you need to watch Raising Canaan, number one. Number two, does Ash get picked up and dropped off to school, or y'all like he gets on a bus, or do y'all take him?
No, I drop them off.
Oh,
I
fuck,
drop
I
them
want to
off,
stay.
and usually she picks them up.
Oh, well, listen, listen. You get as soon as 12 o'clock noon comes, start the grill, start the drinking. You good? I like
Well,
that for you.
at some point this week, I'll be making my way out. Hopefully, I'm still like shaky from the cruise. Like I be getting vertigo after the cruise and shit.
Mm,
Um, but what I'm gonna do is at some point I hope to get down to Tampa just to see because now not only did they give us sports betting here in Florida, but at the casinos we also have table games outside of just blackjack and poker. So they put in craps and roulette. So I may make a voyage down there midweek, when the tables are low priced. And then, maybe check out the craps table, see how that looks, put in a couple sports bets, see what they set up for their sports book area in Hard Rock. So,
nice, nice, good idea.
something like.
I need to return back to Tampa. Last time I was there, I was asleep on your car floor. I was wasted. Talk about shooting your load. I was horrible. Oof, it's nasty. Nasty work. Nasty work.
Yeah, it was you it was a couple of y'all that was lit.
Oh, I was done. I was actually gonna meet somebody in Daytona, but I didn't do it. Regret. I can't regret it now. Is
Yeah, it
what
was
it
a
is.
couple. But nonetheless, um yeah, maybe I'll check out Raising Canaan this week. I'm
Start it up.
trying.
I think it's one of the. I think of all the Power Universe shows outside of the main staple, it's the most realistic one. It has some of the best writing. Now the acting, of course, is always going to be in question, right?
Right.
But I tell you what, we saw. Shout out to his mother, Patina Miller. She had her first nude scene this
Ooh,
season.
Chris
First,
Olave's out.
she had her first nude scene this season. I was
Oh,
excited for
did
that.
she?
Yo, I saw them titties. I saw them titties. Shit, me. I was excited for that. Shout out to her.
She must
But
not be getting cast. Mm,
well, I mean, she's probably gonna focus on this joint, this role for a little while. But she's been on other things before, but I think this is probably her biggest thing. And she's killing it. Fake New York accent and all, but she's killing it. And I love Raising Kanan. I think it's the second best of all the shows. I mean, the Power Universe we know is pretty much a glorified soap opera. Um, but I think of all of the universe shows, this is the most realistic, and it takes you. And the one thing I want to tell you to watch it for is that it's going to take you back to that time. It's instantly going to take you back to that time. Just everything that they do, it just takes you back to that time. The first episode just reminded me of being a kid in New York City. It just reminds you of that time. So I definitely
what
say you should watch it.
Well, remember I started it. I just gotta. I only got like 2 episodes or 3 episodes in, so I
Mm,
remember. Like I definitely remember. The first parts of it, and it's just a matter of getting back to it and
yeah,
finishing it up.
do that this week. Do that this week for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably put that on the list. Other than that, I think we covered just about everything that we had on the list for the most part, and anything we didn't cover, we could probably get back to um another time.
Yeah,
Uh,
right under 12 o'clock is good for me.
yeah, yeah, I got to go finish some lineups. It's playoff fantasy week, so good luck to those of you that still have teams in playing in the playoffs, unless you're playing against me.
Yeah, right.
Um, And other than that, I think we're in a good spot. Like I said earlier, keep yourself safe throughout these next few weeks. Holiday time, not only Christmas but also on New Year's is going to be super important to maintain your safety. There's going to be people out here trying to eat. They're going to find ways to eat, and just keep your eyes open. Um, if you're not prepared or you're not aware of how to act in the evening time, if somebody comes around, then maybe you should stop your shopping at 5:30, 6 o'clock before it gets dark. Make ways back to your vehicles, park close enough to the buildings that you're shopping in, stuff like that. Just take the necessary precautions or go in groups and pairs because we're old heads now, but there was a point where we were the young heads and things like this happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
take
then
care
it's
of
a
yourself.
different code these days.
No doubt. Um, Other than that, we appreciate everyone who joined and watched today. We had a decent following on Instagram. It's the first time we've streamed live on Instagram. Shout out to StreamYard for incorporating that into their platform, being able to stream directly to Instagram. So we'll be doing a lot more of that in the coming year. Um, we appreciate you watching, interacting for those who did, and you can always reach us anywhere. You can listen to us anywhere. There's streaming podcasts. Any
Hey, yo.
streaming platform you get your podcast from, you can find us. StreamYard, Apple Podcasts, Instagram if you want video, YouTube if you want video, Spotify. You already know where to find us. You can
Yo.
interact with us, comment, like. If you want to join, let us know. We got a spot for you. Until next time. We are out of here. We love you and peace.